Welcome to Hockey Nights in Vegas. My name is Eddie Rivkin. I am joined by fitness goddess Sarina Taylor and Bjorn.
Bjorn doesn't count. He's dead to us today.
Oh.
No, we love him.
We're here at OUTBOX Media in the Medical District in Las Vegas. If you want your podcast to look as good as our fucking podcast, reach out to Bjorn. Contact at OUTBOXLV.
LasVegas.com.
Contact Bjorn at OutBoxLasVegas.com. He'll take care of you. You don't even have to tell him that we sent you because he'll know.
If you call him Bjorn, he'll know.
He'll know.
Yeah.
Well, we've been gone a week and sure is an awful lot to talk about, but I want to start with a question that's going to put you in a difficult position.
Okay. Is this the question you were asking me about the other day?
No,
You're like,
that's the closer. This one,
okay.
This one is equal, but the closer is the home run question.
Okay.
For this question, you have to be a Maple Leafs fan. And you cannot say neither. Okay?
Okay.
You as a Maple Leafs fan, the Golden Knights are playing the Montreal Canadiens in the Stanley Cup Finals. Are you cheering for Mitch Marner or the Habs?
A, I'm so fucking sick of talking about this and hearing about it.
All right.
B, no Leafs fan worth a grain of salt would ever pull for the fucking Habs. It wouldn't matter who was playing at all. They would never cheer for the Habs. So, no, it's not a difficult question. They're just not going to cheer for the Habs. It's like my cousin and I were talking. She's like, somebody asked her who she's pulling for now. And she's like, let's talk about who I'm not cheering for. And I'm going to start with players. And we're like, there's more teams we want to lose than there is we actually want to win. And that's guaranteed what's happening. They don't give a fuck if it's Vegas or not. They don't want Montreal to win.
No matter what.
No way.
So, we've spent quite a bit of time this year having our way with the Vegas Golden Knight fan base.
Oh, boy.
And their social media.
Here we go. Do I need to settle in for this one?
Well, no, because I think, and, there's a guy out there who I don't either dislike or like or whatever. He's asked to be on the podcast a bunch of times. And, if we get players, we can't have somebody like him because he gives the players nicknames and he's like a gossipy guy and he tries to be funny and mix in knowledge and things like that. But to his credit, and I will plug the Facebook group, it's called Vegas Golden Knights Keeping It Real, and I'm talking about Vegas Ron. To his credit, he has been posting Avalanche fans' social media, and it's fucking priceless. Listen, our fan base, they're pretty whiny. The fan base in Colorado has started a mutiny in Denver. And the backlash, and they're not as funny as our fan base is, but I got to tell you, it's fucking priceless. Bednar's got to go. McKinnon's been a pussy since he gave up the Olympic gold winning goal. He's soft. Oh my God. I admit it. My name is Eddie, and I'm addicted to watching social media misery. This is fun. This is good stuff. They are salty. It's like they read the press that they were the best team in the history of the NHL, and they can't believe that their team not only got broomed out of the joint, but basically didn't put up a fight. 7 goals in 4 games. It's fun. It's good to watch.
Much like the Vegas fans did for the first 75 games of the season.
Yes.
I can't believe we got Carter Hart. I can't believe Kelly McCrimmon's got to go. Blah, 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 fucking blah. I can't believe they fired Bruce. How could you do that? There's no loyalty.
So I want to talk about the people stories I want to do the people stories up front and then just talk about the hockey of it. We're not going to preview. We're not going to talk anything forward. We're going to have a whole next episode when we find out who the Golden Knights opponent's going to be. So I really want to stay in the lane of this series as a whole. And, I want to talk about the first thing that really pissed me off is ESPN regurgitating the Carter Hart backstory. It's so unbelievably unnecessary. He's been in the club, what, 5 months? 6 months? I mean,
It's what, December?
yeah, something like that when they signed him. But they put up the graphic with what happened when he was much younger. And that's just such a chicken shit kind of thing. Isn't there enough news with the President's Trophy winning club and the evil empire of the National Hockey League, Kelly McCrimmon's mighty Vegas Golden Knights? I just think that was bullshit. So, but this series was full of unbelievable human stories.
Okay,
on both sides.
Okay, hold on. The Carter Hart thing needs to die. Like, obviously, we've said this a long time ago, but I'm going to say this, and whether people agree with this or not, I've lived on both sides of the border. And this is not just against ESPN. It's got nothing to do with anything other than American broadcast companies do not know the game. They don't know how to talk about the game. You've watched Hockey Night in Canada. It's a breakdown of people who know what they're talking about. It's specifics. It's a hockey broadcast. In America, these are broadcast corporations that their bread and butter is not hockey. So they don't know what to talk about. So they talk about other things that don't matter. And that is, I mean, whatever. It's what's the point of it? But that's why this shit happens. If you listen to play-by-play in the US, it's all stats. You listen to people talking in the press box here, it's all stats. It's numbers, it's stats.
Because?
It's completely different. It's because we all know what it is, but it's,
okay.
That's why. Even when Torts answers people's questions, no, I'm not breaking down my power play. What the fuck? And I think in other words, he's like, I'm going to break down my power play to you. How the fuck is that going to help anybody? So that's part of it.
Are you a reggae fan?
Not really.
Okay. You know who Bob Marley is.
Yeah, of course.
Right. One of the greatest Bob Marley songs, and maybe we can get Bjorn to sort of put it underneath, is Redemption Song.
Yeah. It's a great song.
Right?
Yeah.
Let's talk about the redemption of one Carter Hart and Mitch Marner. I mean, he was out of the game, we know, 2 years. He has been absolutely stellar. I think the stat is 13 up, 4 down, 924 save percentage, and a goals against about 2.23, something like that. In series clinching games, which the Golden Knights have had 3, his goals against average is 1, and his save percentage is .961. Everybody should just shut the fuck up, because, I mean, he was a first-round draft pick, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he is playing like, they don't draft a lot of goalies in the first round. That's sort of, for some reason, they don't think that it's a risk well taken. But Carter Hart has been everything and more that the Golden Knights have expected when Kelly pissed off the entire world, every female in North America, every hockey mind, and signed the guy 2 years, $2 million a year. He struggled when he got here. Then he got hurt. That gory injury. Missed 33 games. Situations happen. Bruce out. Torts in. Torts immediately says, "This is my guy." He took that empowered endorsement, and look where we are. I mean, how good is Carter Hart?
First of all, you just rattled off a bunch of stats that don't fucking matter. That's my point. He's winning the games. Who cares? I'm watching this to see if Carter Hart's head is in the fucking game. He was Bruce's starter. We had this conversation. You're like, who's the starter? I'm like, it's fucking Carter Hart. No doubt. No doubt about it. Then he got hurt. Then it's like, fuck. Now what? We didn't know when he was coming back. He comes back. He was the starter. That's why he was signed by the Golden Knights. I don't think there ever should have been a question around that. It's speculation, right? Because we didn't know, and then he got hurt and whatever.
Right.
But again, it's like my eyes tell me his fucking head is in the game. I don't give a fuck what his save percentage is. I don't care what his goals against is in a clinching game. He's stopping the puck when he needs to. There were 2 games that he let 4 goals in. I was like, so what? So what? He's going to be fine, right?
Well, it goes to the question that I asked Bruce in episode 100. How much is it what you see, and how much is it analytics? I said, do you use what you see to justify the analytics, or do you use the analytics to justify what you see? And Bruce said, it's about 80 or 85% what I see, and then I go look at the numbers to make sure that they justify what I'm processing. So I'm 99.9% sure, and I would never speak for Torts, he's the same kind of way, 90, 95%. It's eye test.
It is. It has to be.
Right. It has to be. Like you said, his playing well isn't always indicative of the numbers.
There was a couple goals that I think we all agree he won back in the first series.
Sure.
But, it's like I said, I don't know what his save percent. I don't care, because the team is winning games and he's making the stops. He wasn't really challenged in the last 2 games. Not taking anything away from him.
He has done something that neither of the other 2 goalies did over the course of the regular season. He stole a couple games.
Yeah.
At least two, possibly 3. He has flat out been their best player on more than one occasion, and that's a statement that we have not been able to make about either of the other 2 goalies this year. And the eye test says to me he is absolutely locked in. He is more athletic than anybody we've had since Marc-Andre Fleury, but he's composed, and he seems to just, goalies are weird people, and he's got strange rituals. He meditates during TV timeouts, which, with his head down at the top of the crease, but he's locked in. And when you ask Torts said he has the ability to just blow off the bad ones. And yeah, he struggled a little bit in the first series, and he had 1 or 2 less than optimal games against Utah, but he flushed them and he moved back. And now, since game, which was the Mitch goal, 5 against Anaheim, where they started the road. Yeah, because they won the last 2 against Anaheim and then 4 straight. So since game 5 against Anaheim, he's absolutely locked in. And honestly, you and I both have a chance to chat with him in the locker room. He's the nicest kid.
But
it's like soft-spoken.
It's like I told you the other day, I don't even go near him in the playoffs. I'll talk to the other players. Carter Hart, absolutely not. The last thing I'm going to go do is talk to a goaltender that's locked in. He'll come in. I don't even look at him. I don't go near him. I just let him sit in his stall. I'll go fuck around with the other guys sometimes, right, if they're chilling and whatever. But he's been, there was no doubt in my mind that that's the way it was going to be with him, and when he let two games where he had 4 goals that he let in back to back, not for 1 second was Torts, I would suspect, like, ooh, no. So his save percentage was dog shit. His stats would have been dog shit. Who cares? He's locked in. We could tell. We knew he was going to be dialed and ready to go. The bigger difference, I think, though, is when it came to Utah, especially in the first round, they were fast, and it kind of caught Vegas off guard, I think. Once Vegas kind of realized how to play them and what to do and started kind of out maturing them.
Yeah.
It makes a big difference when their goalie's seeing shots and when the goalie's not seeing shots. And if you compare the goaltenders, Utah and Anaheim, they don't hold a candle to Carter Hart. That's part of the reason, like you said, he stole games, and he's absolutely the reason Vegas is where they are right now.
Mitch, we've talked about it, but Mitch last night, for the first time, emoted.
Yeah. Yeah, I know exactly what you're going to say.
Right?
Yeah.
And he's held his tongue for 10 months. right? The deal was July 1st. So basically, 11 months. It's almost June 1st. He hasn't said a fucking word.
11 months plus.
Right. Right. I mean, he's literally kept it inside. Last night, for the first time, his actions on the ice and then his comment to us in the room afterward, where he said he had gone through some difficult, hard times in his hockey life. There's a great deal being made of that right now, whether that is a direct shot at the Leafs and William Nylander specifically, who he had the powder beef with on the bench. I don't give a shit if it is or it isn't. I was just glad to see the guy finally be able to just fucking let it out a little bit.
Okay. Oh my God. Again, people, let this fucking thing with the Leafs go. Honest to fucking God. We talked about this 6 months ago. Mitch doesn't give a fuck anymore. I certainly don't give a fuck. Let's move on. But everybody here likes, the Leafs, making fun of the other teams. Stay in your own fucking lane. You have no idea how good you have it. Shut the fuck up. The Leafs fans, in my opinion, have the right to voice frustration about their team. They haven't won a Stanley Cup in 95 fucking years. Give them a break. You guys here do not understand what it's like. You don't get it. You don't live and breathe hockey like Canadians do, and you've been spoiled. You don't understand what it's like. So back off the Leafs fans a little bit. Secondly, Mitch is going to the Stanley Cup final. He's excited. He's not throwing anything in the Leafs' face. Mitch is excited. He's going to the Stanley Cup final. He turned to the crowd and threw his arms up and was like, fuck yeah. He didn't say that. But Mitch just went, all of a sudden you could see Mitch go, we're going to the Stanley Cup.
For the first time since he's been here.
For the first time. Yeah, that he showed emotion. Mitch was not thinking about the Toronto Maple Leafs. So why do the fans fucking think about it? Why does anybody care? No one, honestly, Leafs fans aren't even talking about it anymore. Like, really, they're not. And
your friend Sid is.
My friend who?
Sid. Cicero. Is that what he called?
Oh, Sid. Goes to show you. I watched one Sid Cicero clip and
yeah.
But, it's like you could just see the years of the Leafs had a really good team. They probably should have been Stanley Cup contenders a couple of times when Mitch was there. And so you could just see the happiness of a little kid growing up in Canada that finally realized he's going to the Stanley Cup final. That's all that was. And good for Mitch and good for the other guys that have never been there.
There were a lot of surprises in the series. What was your biggest surprise? Not the gameplay, not the result, the sweep. I mean, as far as the Golden Knights, the players, what stood out to you?
I think consistency. We saw this Vegas team, I don't want to say get stronger each game. They were just good the whole time, and they never really let their foot off the gas for too long. Nobody's going to play balls to the wall for 60 minutes straight, 4 games in a row. It's not going to happen. They let in 3 goals on 12 shots in the first period the other night. That was the only signal in 12 periods of hockey.
That math problem almost got you.
Well, it was like 4:16. Is this football? But I was like, how many games did they play? It was the only time that we saw an inkling of what, in my opinion, Colorado is
capable of.
Yeah, fuck. I mean, listen, Colorado is a really, really good hockey team. But what Vegas did, they stopped them coming up the middle. Vegas knew Colorado's a fast team. You stop them coming up the middle, you're forcing them to the boards. Well, they've got guys who are hurt now. So a Cale Makar, his only play is in the boards, in the corner. He ain't going in there. He's going to get creamed. Right? Nate McKinnon was skating pretty much on
half a leg.
Yeah, I was going to say 1.5
One and a half, yeah.
But we never saw him lay off the gas in the 4th game.
Nope.
He
led their team in ice time.
Unbelievable. He was unreal, but he's a gamer. He's a competitor. But they stopped him up the middle. And you could see Colorado at the start of each period try to go back. They're like, okay, when we're coming out of our zone, we have got to break up the middle. We either got to pass it up and they couldn't. And Vegas played well defensively. And I've said this before, and I'm going to say it again. Noah Hannafin he's just the unsung hero of that defense. We see Razzie doing things all the time. We see fucking Braden McNabb. I mean, he's been unreal. But Noah Hannafin he just does these little things just to get the job done without, letting them come in across the zone and everything like that. I mean, they were consistent.
To me, there were two really big ones, and I'll do the less big one first. Dylan Coghlan and Caden Korzak.
Caden, fuck off. Caden and Bobby Orr Hutton, the two of them were interchangeable.
Right. They both got healthy scratched, and we know indirectly from Torts that Ben Hutton was scratched because he favors Caden Korzak's speed and skating. He was clear in, 1 point means the next point. Dylan Coghlan signed here as a free agent, got traded, was shit canned basically in Winnipeg for a couple of years, played maybe 2 games in Carolina, came back here as a free agent. You would probably be able to speak better about how good he was in Henderson for most of the year. This was his first bite of the apple of Stanley Cup playoff hockey. 8 games, +8, 1 goal, 1 primary assist on the conference championship winning goal last night. For fuck's sake, 28 years old. I mean, how do you not be happy for him and for Korzak? This was Korzak's sort of coming out year. He had been the 7th, 8th guy. They give him the baby bag 4 years at $3.75 million or something like that. He played the great majority of the games. His play did suffer a little bit, and Torts sat him for a couple of games, gave him a little something to think about. But Torts realized they need his speed, especially in this series. They start with Utah, that's fast. Anaheim's faster. Colorado's fastest. And, I mean, I'm just so happy for the 2 kids. They were the unsung heroes. The fact that Dylan Coghlan stood in and played 20-plus minutes when McNabb got suspended. And he's made it so you can't take him out of the lineup. And that's not often in a third pair D.
Man, I'll tell you what. We're talking about all these guys that have faced adversity, from Carter Hart to Coghlan to Caden to Ben Bobby or Hutton. Hey, you're not going to play, but you're going to travel again. Okay, I'll be ready when I need to.
Yep.
And I'm going to do what I need to. And Caden, the maturity, you can see in him from series to series even. He got 2 points the other night.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, I'm just so happy for him. He's just, and all of them, they lost Jeremy Lauzon. Obviously, he's not coming back. We don't even know where Jeremy is. We lose Mark Stone, and they didn't miss a beat. They're not going to go crack. How many times have you guys heard me say, stop with the fucking, if this guy was healthy and if this was, I fucking hate that with a passion. Vegas didn't do that. It was like, well, we're going to have to figure this out. And you're not going to be a whiny little bitch about it, whether you're playing or not. You're going in, you're playing, you're not. Great. Everybody's doing their job. Vegas is doing their job.
The second one is the unsung hero, William Karlsson.
Oh.
Holy fuck balls. I knew that we missed William Karlsson over the course of the year, but holy fuck balls. He had changed the dynamic of this club from 1C to the equipment manager. His play, he's not dominating on the score sheet. He's got a goal and a couple of apples or something like that. Nothing big on stats. But again, going back to what we were talking about before, the eyeball test, he's unfucking believable. He won't probably get a Conn Smythe vote. He won't put up enough numbers for that or something like that. But if there was a Selke version, Selke's the defensive forward.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking Selke, Lady Binks. Okay, Selke. If there was a best defensive forward in the playoffs right now, he's relentless. Now, he doesn't have 6 months worth of, NHL on his body this year, but he has 6 months of being alone and rehabbing, right? He has been, and we've talked about this before, when people come in, does it slot the rest of the lineup the way Butch would want it? Well, now we know that Minnesota's downfall was they were awful down the middle against Colorado, and Colorado fucking dog walked them. Jack Eichel, William Karlsson, Tomas Hertl, Colton Sissons. Colorado had no answer for the strength down the middle, the dominant strength down the middle. And that's all because William Karlsson's back in the lineup.
Well, look at it like this, too. William Karlsson didn't really have a lot of opportunity. He wasn't around before he got hurt for too long with this Mitch Marner lineup.
Right.
I've said this before. I don't think Bruce makes the same changes. John comes in, goes, you know what, Mitch, you're going to play with Howden and Karlsson's going on that line. And look at now. And that's just strengthening the ability of each of those guys.
That second line can defend against any team in the NHL's first line.
That second line is the Golden Knights' best line. It's the best line because they can put the puck in the net. They can score shorthanded. They can kill penalties.
And they're all centers.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, and they all, fuck yeah. Before we didn't have enough centers, now we've got 18. But it just goes to show you that the strength that Torts brings is that he looks and goes, okay, I want this guy with this guy. This guy didn't work. Let me switch it up. Hey, Mark Stone's coming back into the lineup. Yeah, you're going on the fucking third line because my top two lines are going. Everybody goes. And Mark Stone probably went, yup, deal.
Don't give one fuck.
We're just going to win. I don't care. We're going to win. Did you get the opportunity to watch Mark Stone's post-game interview?
Last night?
Right on the ice.
I saw a couple seconds of it.
If you can, go back
Emily
and watch
Kaplan.
It was thoughtful, insightful. He sat and he thought about his answer, and he answered it. He didn't give the typical, cliche. It was unbelievable. I was like, ask him more questions, ask him more. And she asked him fire fucking questions.
She's fantastic.
She's great.
And I shamelessly plug it because she's my pal.
But it's like, just, you could see Mark Stone. He didn't let the emotions get in the way. He thought and he answered the question. And my favorite, when he scored, I fucking watched him to see exactly. And as soon as he scored, he turned around and looked for McNabb and was like, fuck yeah. Mark Stone's reactions. I mean, there's several reasons why he's the captain, and that's just one of them, right? But this is a whole team. If Mark Stone was told he was going on the fourth line, his first reaction would probably be like, we can't break up that fourth line because they're too good. So yeah, it makes sense I go on the third line. I don't want to underestimate the fourth line. Colton Sissons.
That's
my God.
That's go ahead. That's the last person point.
Like, are you guys kidding me? Top to bottom. Even Kelly McCrimmon said to me, these guys, he just keeps saying, these guys are playing so well. And that's, when you're the general manager and you put this team together, the only thing you need them to do is play well. And if they don't, there's nothing you can really do about it. But, it's out of your hands. They're playing so well.
Think about the storyline that Kelly McCrimmon's big trade deadline moves that put them over the hump if they were to win the Stanley Cup were Cole Smith, and Colton Sissons, they got back earlier, but the big moves that he made, with the exception of Raz, were fourth line guys. He took a team that they had sort of the parts to be a fourth line, but we talked about it. It might have been the second game we saw Smith, Sissons, Kolesar. We're like, holy shit, this is a line. And not only is it a line, because the second or third game, they were rolling them out against McDavid. And there was no fear anywhere about putting them out at any time of the game. Other teams, they shorten the bench when things get a little bit snug. Bruce didn't. Torts definitely doesn't. Everyone said, Nick Dowd's a face-off specialist. He'll take 85, 90% of the draws in the D zone. Fuck you. He's taking draws he's letting that line cause havoc in the other team's D zone. They're driving the play in both ends of the ice. I can't gloat enough about how wonderful it is to watch them. Nothing fancy. They don't know what east-west means. They go up and down the ice. They hit every fucking thing that moves, sometimes maybe later than other times. But you know exactly what you're going to get. You're going to get meaningful minutes with them. And when the shit hits the fan late in the game, they have no problem putting them out. And it's just fucking majestic.
On top of that, what I really love about what Torts brings with Nick Dowd, there was a chance to win the series against Anaheim. Who took the face-off? Fucking Nick Dowd. But he also looks at Jack. Game 4. Jack had, at that point, I think had won 10 out of 12 face-offs.
Yep.
So who took the most important? Jack. Because he looks at going, who's winning their face-offs tonight? There was a game where Jack was not good on the face-offs. And so Torts looks at it and says, who's the guy that's going to take the face-off right now? And that's what a lot of people don't realize is the value with a coach like that. And just quickly, we could probably talk about the pros of every single guy on that team. Keegan Kolazar has been unbelievable in the playoffs. He's doing his job. He's beating guys to the puck. He's where he needs to be. He's created a couple scoring chances. He scored a goal. I mean, everybody's been... you can't ask for anything more. That's what I said to Kelly. You literally could not ask for anything more at this point. Nothing.
Do you want to rave on Torts, or do you want to talk about the games?
Man, we could talk about Torts all day. Like I never thought I'd be sitting in this chair talking about how incredible John Tortorella is as a coach, but it's where you fit.
I just want to I want to tell you the most telling thing that he said. Somebody asked him what he learned since he's been here, and I was like, "Oh, this could be really bad." I'm like, "Oh." Somebody's going to get hurt so bad they're never going to ask a question again. But he stopped and he took a pause and he said, I learned to listen. I'm a better listener because this group doesn't require as much coaching. And when you got a 67-year-old guy who's the second leading American-born coach or whatever that crazy statistic is, the fact that he is so outwardly thankful for the opportunity, the fact that he understands that he figured out the room and the culture really quickly. John Stevens with the D, Dom Ducharme with the offense and the forwards and the power play. He just sort of stepped back and just sort of gave them a couple of grains here. I want you guys to play faster. I want you guys to be more aggressive. I want you guys to not fear making a mistake. He hasn't, and he said, we don't coach him that much anymore. Yeah, if there's something we don't like, we show it to him on video and they correct it. It was like somebody said, whoa, Torts must have gone in and peeled the paint after they were down 3-0 in the first period of game 3. Torts didn't say anything. The room manages itself. Mark Stone, Jack Eichel, Keegan Kolesar is a room leader. He doesn't get enough credit for being vocal. Mitch Marner is a big yapper in the room. We found that out. The fact that a man of that much experience is evolving and has evolved is just incredible. He's never going to be good with us. Doesn't matter. Who gives a shit? It's more fun watching him be bad with us most of the time for you and I, because it doesn't matter that he's not going to say anything, right? But from minute one, trust this club. I trust the leadership. And The fact that he hasn't come in and tried to boss hog everybody and be John Tortorella's Stanley Cup winning coach, I think is just incredible. And what an interesting predicament they have now with him. Interim coach. Do you think in their wildest dreams that Kelly thought this was where they were going to be?
Oh, I don't know. I don't think anybody really did. Let's be honest.
Well,
Let's be honest.
That's why I asked you. We have to be honest.
That's what Kelly shoots for every year.
Kelly says, yes, that's the expectation, no matter who's behind the bench.
Yeah.
But, okay, let's talk about the reality other than the press talking points.
Yeah. I think that it's one of those things where you're like...
Sure would love to ask him, hey, Kelly, want to come on? Sarina, it's your buddy.
We can ask him, but I'm pretty sure that's not going to happen.
It's a hard no.
But it's just, I think it's one of those things where you like wake up every day and you're like, is this like really happening? You know, and not because they don't have the ability. It's just the way Colorado was so strong. But I said it. Colorado's beatable. How many times did I say that on this podcast? Colorado is beatable, and you can't go balls to the wall for the whole entire season and through the playoffs. It doesn't work like that. I don't want to say they blew themselves out, but they came up against a team that all of a sudden put it all together.
They've been building it.
Yeah,
you can see.
I don't want to be like it was like this, but they all of a sudden went, okay,
here it is.
Yep. We played a really, really young team, then a kind of young and older mixed team, and now we're playing a bunch of seasoned vets. And when you play a team like Colorado, you are going to play better than when you play a team like Utah. It's just the way it goes, right? But man, they just...
Do you think Kelly somewhere maybe last night after the game in a quiet moment back at his pad or wherever he is, he cracked open a nice bottle of bourbon and had a chuckle?
No, because Kelly doesn't gloat.
No, not gloating.
No,
I don't mean gloating.
No,
I mean just sort of one of those times, you know, Kelly's got a belly like I got to be rolled back, and he goes, "Fucking A, look what I did." That's not gloating.
I don't think so, because Kelly's always got a job to do.
He never disconnects ever.
No. When everybody else has the day off, Kelly's at the rink. Like he goes home for a little bit. He's going home, spend some time with family for a few days in between, because Lord knows we don't even know when we're playing again. But there's always a job to do. It's like, I was thinking about this last night, like Harry Sinden famously said, enjoy it, but don't gloat over it. We've got another game to play. He said that in the Summit Series, and I always think of that. Enjoy it, but don't gloat over it. We've still got more hockey to play. And Kelly's always, you don't think Kelly's already thinking about next year? You know what I mean? Like we still have games to win. Like I'm sure he probably stepped off the gas just a little bit and went, okay, I'm probably going to sleep better tonight than I have in a couple nights. But I know the stress gets to him all the time.
So the series to me came down to will. The Golden Knights imposed their will. Nobody gave them a chance. Listen, we got asked for predictions on a television show. We talked about it here. I said that I struggled to find a way for them to get it done. Well, guess what? They found the way, and they got it done. They decided Nathan McKinnon was not going to beat them. They knew Cale Makar was hurt. Everybody knew. Fucking Stevie Wonder knew fucking Cale Makar was hurt. They decided that in order to win this series, they had to stop the speed. They had to, in a strange sort of roundabout way, Utah and Anaheim were perfect appetizers for Colorado.
Yep.
It got their mind, the pace in their mind. They played 12 games against two teams that were fast, neither certainly nearly as accomplished as Colorado, but for pace of play, they had 12 games to get used to teams with a big motor. And that served them really well. At this stage of the playoffs, nobody's surprising anybody. Colorado knew exactly what they were going to get in Vegas. Listen, it wasn't hype when they said we were expecting a tough series. Vegas knew exactly what they were going to get in Colorado because they've been dance partners a whole bunch of times. The Golden Knights imposed their will on the Colorado Avalanche and broke them.
I don't disagree, but I will say that we did not see the top Colorado team that we saw at any point during this year, and it's not just because Vegas stopped them. That was a big part of it. There's two teams on the ice, right?
Yeah.
And Vegas did everything in their power and then some to get the job done, but we just didn't see a strong Colorado team 6 months ago would have been able to flip the script, and they didn't. They either ran out of steam. They had guys like Natchez, who wasn't really probably as good.
He was invisible.
Yeah, guys like that.
Rock,
Nelson. Yeah.
Invisible.
Yeah. So there was things like that I think it just all fell into place poorly for Colorado, and Vegas just went, we're going to take advantage of that. Fuck you.
But I agree with what you're saying, but I think that Vegas prevented them from flipping the script. I mean, listen, all 4 games had ebb and flow. Of course they had ebb and flow. You have the two, arguably, of the best 3 or 4 teams in the NHL, in a Stanley Cup conference championship. Like you said, there was no prolonged time where Colorado was a threat. Yeah, they had a fantastic first period in Game 3. They had moments in the other game. Vegas had moments too. Everybody's going to have moments. A game's 60 minutes long. But the whole of it, Colorado never got any traction. And they could have run out of gas, maybe. Or maybe Torts, John Stevens, and Dom outcoached the Colorado staff.
Maybe. I don't know, because I don't know what was going on in Jared Bednar's head and this, that, and the other thing.
He was just hoping Keegan Colasar didn't hit him in the head with a fucking puck.
I know. But I do have to give Colorado credit, because they are an incredible hockey team. They were the best hockey team in the league this year. There's no question. So it's not like all of a sudden Vegas was like, well, we knew Vegas was the better team. They just finally, it's both. It's and both kind of thing here. Vegas just did all the things they needed to take advantage of Colorado, realistically, in layman's terms, and not doing a fucking thing. Colorado really didn't do anything. And what broke them is giving up those 2 quick goals in the second period in Game 3. Colorado had a chance to come back in this series after the first period of Game 3.
Agreed.
It was going to be one way or the other. And
the fact that they couldn't stop the God, I almost said stop the Avalanche. God, that would have been cheesy. Fuck. The fact that they couldn't stop the momentum. And listen, we've talked about that with the Golden Knights a fuck ton of times during the regular season. 1 turns into 2, turns into 3, and we're down 4-0 against Calgary. Right? We had that occurrence right in front of us. The fact that the Avalanche could not stop the Golden Knights' momentum from the power play goal by Stone in the first minute of Game 3, that was their demise. A
big difference, I think, too, is hot Pavel Dorofeyev. So you have Dorofeyev, who was seeing the puck well, like shooting the puck well. He
got robbed last night.
Finger was on the did he ever?
Twice in the same power play he got robbed.
Colorado's goaltending was not all that bad. Just their forwards weren't really doing anything. So, but whatever. We could sit and break this down, and we're not even fucking coaches. Can you imagine like what they see? I feel bad for Jared Bednar. I mean,
he doesn't deserve to lose his fucking job. That's for sure.
I can't. We're not talking about that's the stupidest fucking thing I've ever heard. But when I feel for the Avalanche, because they were dominant, and I watched it happen to my Oilers last year in the final. Edmonton steamrolled the fuck out of everybody in the playoffs, and everyone's like, well, this is going to be an easy final, and it wasn't. And you're just like, I don't even know what to do anymore. I literally don't even know what is happening right now. And I can't even imagine that's how Colorado felt. But here we are.
I'm done.
Yeah, I guess me too. Fucking A.
Right. Thank you to all 608 subscribers. We're going to try and sort this timing out a little bit better and get you at least 1 or 2 episodes during the Cup final.
We got to get a schedule first.
We do.
Don't know what the hell's going on. Nobody does.
Nobody does. We'll see. We'll probably know who the opponent is if Carolina wins tonight.
If Montreal would have actually won some games instead of going to overtime and game 7s every friggin', they probably played way more hockey than every other team at this point.
They have.
Like, come on.
So thanks for all 608 of you. That's it. I'm really kind of done. We're out of here. We'll see you next week.